First time live, guys. Go easy on me. Okay, so I'm waiting for that to go live, and I'm going to talk tonight about some fitness strategies. How does that sound? Some Q&As with me. This will be the first of many. I'm going to be doing them regularly, I think. We'll see how it goes tonight if I don't bomb. And what we're going to do here is, I can't quite see my live on the Facebook here, so let's see. I'll just let it go. Okay, hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome. I'm doing a live here tonight because I want to share with you some fitness strategy Q&As that I thought you might want to have. Actually, it's what triggered this was I had a lot of questions come in. I posted some questions. I'm starting to play around with the Instagram stories and the Facebook stories. So I started to ask if people had any specific questions, and I got quite a bit of questions. So these are real. I'm not just coming live here for the sake of coming live. I'm actually attempting to answer some of the questions for you guys that you might have. If you're a bodybuilder, a physique competitor, figure, bikini, fitness, whatever you got going on, or maybe you just want to look amazing. Maybe you're killing it in the gym and you're struggling with maybe one component of looking amazing, or maybe you just want to get that competitive edge and get a little bit better. So you just want to have some questions answered from somebody who might know a little something, something. Okay, so each week I'm going to be answering these questions. So go ahead and hit me up in the stories here if you want to ask any specific questions, or on the chat as well, guys, if you have anything you might want to know. Go ahead and post up, okay? So who am I? Well, I am an expert on all the stage performance requirements in all divisions and federations in bodybuilding. That's quite a claim, right? Well, I do, my expertise is posing, stage walks, individual performances, from all the way from bodybuilding, men and women, all the way to theme wear. There's divisions that have theme wear, and there's personalities in all the different federations. And the beauty of having been in the industry for 20 years is that I've competed and I've seen such a strong evolution in the divisions, the federations themselves. There's different characters, there's different judging criteria. So I've experienced it all, and my job today is to help the others kind of, sift through all the noise and the confusion. And I help people to look unique and stand out on stage. So if you don't know about competing, or maybe you do, you know that you can be left on the side and of the stage and completely forgotten. So how you present yourself on stage could make or break your placement. And oftentimes on the pro stages in particular, you can literally, it could make or break your winning. And it could be the deciding factor. As a judge, you're looking for things that could make or break one person over the other. So for me, I've been competing for 20 years. I have won titles in, again, 6 federations, and pro titles in 3 very different ones. I've been able to adapt to different federations, and today I head judge and panel judge for multiple federations. In fact, one of the federations that I do today, head judging, has been a really great experience. You get to see things from a completely different perspective, and you'll never look at competing the same again when you're on the opposite side of the table. So hopefully Facebook people, if you guys are on, give me a mention. Let me know you're here. Hi Facebook, hi Instagram. I'm trying both at once, so hopefully this goes okay. So, again, just, summarizing a little bit about me. I talked about the, some of my history, but I also do have a lot of business experience too. I've actually owned brick and mortar gyms, and I also own a real estate brokerage firm too. So kind of interesting perspective. I do want to give back. And I actually got an email today that said, if you have all this knowledge that's kind of bottled up inside of you and you're not sharing it, you're being selfish. I kind of read that and stopped for a second, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I am. Maybe I should come out here and help some people. There's a lot of, Insta famous people, a lot of, face grammars out there that have all tons of followers, and because of all the followers, they're considered experts, and they may not actually have a lot of expertise. Hey, Lynn, I see you on here. Hello. How you guys doing, Facebook people? So that's why I'm on here tonight. I'm going to start answering some questions and talking a little bit about, again, fitness, bodybuilding, all that good stuff. And I'm going to go over 3 specific questions that kind of appeared in my Instagram stories that I thought were really good questions. And the first question tonight was, this is from Martin. This was a private message to me. He asked me, what is the most protected secret to your physique success? Hmm. And to ask me to answer that with one secret, that's a tough one. I mean, shooting from the hip, I could easily just say, make sure you're patient. Okay, it's not a quick fix. Nothing happens overnight. It's time and patience. I mean, that is probably the most unsexy answer I could have to that question, but it's true. Time and patience. I wouldn't say it's my most coveted secret. I would say that focusing on lifting versus cardio is a total game changer. I can always tell, especially on the judging panels now, as I'm looking at athletes. I judge a lot of, again, pro bodybuilding, all the way to bikini. So all the different federations, all the different divisions, I look at the athletes and I see people a little bit differently. So, looking at the physiques, I can always tell who over dieted. I can always tell who's not eating fats. Who looks super dry on stage. Not dry as in like you can see all the muscles and they're shredded. I mean dry as in the skin. There's just no glow. I can see athletes that just look really flat. You can tell just by their diets and their training protocols what certain athletes are doing over others. Again, it's just a general statement, but that's something that is really important to focus on lifting rather than cardio. So for me, what changed specifically, I started as a bodybuilder. This was way before there was anything besides bodybuilding. And my type of training was probably what you guys have seen, which is lift super heavy. Take all these supplements that, like creatine, take these things to get that one last rep up, that type of training, the forced reps. I did a lot of that. But what's interesting is I probably gained my best physique and built the most muscle for me. Again, I can only tell you from my experiences. I can't tell you what's going to work for you. For me, it was volume training. So not working on forced reps, but really looking to load the muscles in just a different way with more, just a lot more rather than forced reps. It would be more exercises. And the focus on recovery, I think, is probably the most underestimated part of training. Everybody wants to go to the gym, they want to lift crazy, lift heavy, but they underestimate that when you're resting and when you're eating, that's when the magic happens. That's when you build that beautiful muscle tissue. Hey, Martha. Hey, Mike. How you guys doing? Hello, hello. If you have any questions, any fitness questions, go ahead and post up, you guys. I'm going to be doing this regularly, so you might get a chance to have your questions answered. So again, talking about Martin's question, which was the most protected secret, I talked a little bit about recovery. I talked about my type of training, and changing up training is important, but probably my most coveted happened on accident. And this was one time I was injured. Okay, I had an injury. I was really tired. My physique was tired, and I realized that there's other body parts that I have to focus on because I can't really work that area. I have to work somewhere else. And what's interesting is I used that time to really continue to educate myself, and I started to train under a phenomenal coach. You might know who is Charles Poliquin. And Charles Poliquin, I went to workshops and all kinds of stuff. And what was interesting was the emphasis on range of motion. Total game changer for me. So there's one thing about being able to do a squat or a specific exercise that looks like this in this specific way, and you have to go as heavy as possible. But what's interesting, you guys, have you ever tried to do, for example, I'll give you a visual. You ever tried to do a step up on a really, really high step? And Martha McNair, I know you're on tonight. I see you because I made you do it. I see you on here tonight, and I know you know what I'm talking about because I made you do it. I mean, full range of motion. You don't even need any weight. You're going to get so much out of that from just your body is designed to move in every which way. And being able to, if you have limitations and you're tight because you're working so hard in specific areas and you're not working in others and you're really, really tight, you're really inhibiting your gains. There's so many different muscles and so many different ways of training. So working on that range of motion and flexibility is super huge. And as a posing coach, oh my goodness, I've seen it time and time again where because you guys are so tight from not moving and stretching, and it sounds lame, stretching, but wow, you will be so limited in your actual getting into your poses. And sometimes you work all the same muscles over and over again. Yeah, you may do, a row versus a pull down, but there's other muscles back there that you may not be activating. So not only are they not growing, there's so many of the athletes that I work with for posing, which is interesting, is when I start seeing the areas, the muscles that they're totally weak because their mind is not firing them. And what happens is I teach them how to activate them. And what ends up happening is those muscles end up growing. I've had people get abs. I've had people get thicker backs from posing, you guys, from incorporating mind muscle connection to specific areas. So getting out of the comfort zone and working on your range of motion, and that will incorporate, it'll go into your posing and make you, yes, mobility, very tight mobility, Martha. I know that's something that we worked on really hard with you. That is a total game changer. So that's question number 1. How many minutes has that been? Okay, so that's number 1. Okay, actually somebody just asked a quick question here about not running your first coat of tan. Well, I'll answer that later. So it's good to actually see some of you guys asking some questions. Go ahead and come on here. If you have anything you might want me to answer on this live, I will save it to the end and we'll chit chat a little bit. But I am going to answer some of the other questions that people have. This goals for 2020. Somebody asked me what my goals were. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go over this real quick. Me personally, my passion is teaching stage performance for all federations, and I'm turning 40 in August. Whoa! And because of that, I have a goal that I'm going to do a photo shoot. So before my 40th birthday, sometime in probably early August or late July, I'm going to be in a physique that is photo shoot ready. So that is a huge goal for me in 2020. We're going to be coming out with some things such as posing suits. How cool is that, you guys? Not competitive suits, posing practice suits, I should say. And I'm going to be the model for our own. So I'm kind of excited for that. And then we do have some stuff specifically for bodybuilders that's coming out actually pretty soon. So question number 3, Muhammad asked me in a private message, how do I plan my workouts? Okay. Whew. Well, that's a great question because to me, I kind of look at the week in overall. I look to see what kind of mandatories, non-negotiables that I might have for work and personal life, things that I have to do that there's a non-negotiable. And I look in general and I plan my workouts around those non-negotiables. And I schedule it in my schedule so it's an appointment. So it's a part of the day. You don't think about it. It's just something you do at this particular time. So that's part of my planning. If things come up and I can't make a workout, I don't freak out. A lot of people get panicked because, oh my God, I'm going to miss my workout and I'll lose all my gains. No, you're not. You just do the next day, or you kind of fit it in later in the week. Or if you have to move, God, you guys, a 7-day schedule to an 8-day schedule, it's not the end of the world. To add an extra day in, it's totally fine. It's okay. And I personally like to change up my workouts every 4 weeks. I feel by week 3, I've gotten really strong. That's just my personal body. I adapt pretty quickly. Some people can adapt even quicker, men, maybe even 3 weeks. You know, you might actually have to move your workouts along a little bit quicker. And sometimes for women, especially as they're first starting, maybe 6 weeks, you might need to wait a little bit longer to kind of give your body that time to adapt. So it really kind of depends on your fitness level. But for me personally, every 4 weeks, it gives me time to build and grow. And that's the point of the workouts, to not keep cycling them every week, changing them. You want to kind of stick to a workout, progress, build, use that time to grow, and then move on. And personally, I always have a specific physique goal as well. So it could be not just an overall look that I want to have, but I choose specific body parts that I want to focus on, and I hyper focus on them. So there's always to having a goal, but even taking your big goal of like general physique and maybe bringing it down to perhaps looking for a specific lagging body part and making that a hyper focus. You could even add a second day during the week on just that one particular body part. And that works for me. And please do not let injuries hold you back. So you hurt your foot. Okay, you have arms, legs, you have, let me just get this little thingy here. Hold on. Let me get my camera back up. Sorry about that. So with injuries, you can have arm injuries. You still have legs. You still have core. You have so many other muscles on your body that you could be doing other exercises. So you could be using that time to hyper focus on core. If you have, when I say core, I don't mean a 6-pack. Okay, there's so many other muscles, there's so many other components. There's those internal muscles to your core as well. You could be working on those things. You could be working on range of motion. Oh my God, you can totally change your whole lifting just by having better range of motion. You may not even need to add all this extra weight. It could be just the load of your body, going into that lower, maybe a lower lunge or a higher step, that type of stuff. I mean, there's so much that you could be doing, and don't let injuries derail you. I've seen it time and time again. I've used injuries. I had a torn hamstring. So what did I do? I actually went into and did some stuff in water. I did a lot of stuff in water, so I didn't let it get me down. And of course, so I tore a hamstring, but there's from the waist up, you guys, there's all this other stuff that I can be doing as well. So always having a goal, but also changing up your routine and not letting injuries hold you back. Okay, so those are 3 questions that I had. I thought I'd kind of jump on and share just a little tidbit, see how it went. See if you guys had any questions, see if you like it. And if so, I might come on here weekly if there's more questions. So the big fitness questions and answers today are to work on your foundation work, like your range of motion and mobility. That's a huge tip. Make sure you guys do that. Being patient. I know it's an unsexy answer, but be patient. Time and patience is your friend. Your body takes time to get to where it was, to where it is today. It didn't get here by one meal or one workout. It took a lot of time to get here. So give your body enough time to get to where it's going to be, and start today. Have goals to keep you motivated. Mine's a photo shoot. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to have the heels on. I'm going to have a tan on. I'm going to be glammed and tanned, and I'm going to do the photo shoot for our practice posing suits. That's a huge goal of mine. And change up your workouts frequently, you guys. So maybe, again, depending on your fitness level, everybody's different, okay? So that's kind of what I got going on tonight. A little short and sweet, kind of fun. It's so good that you guys joined me tonight. And I know a lot of people are asking, actually, I see some of the questions in here actually about shows, if they're being canceled. It's such a moving target right now. Oh man, the Olympia, I'm sure you guys saw, has been moved from, the fall all the way to December. That was moved. That's a big move. A lot of the shows that are being consolidated in June. I know the WNBF had 3 shows and they basically put them all together in late June. I know that one's going on. The WBFF unfortunately canceled a lot of their 2020 shows, and they're not going to have them until 2021. The ones in this area, like the Fitness Atlantic, I know that was canceled, and they're not going to postpone it. But a lot of shows for NPC, IFBB, OCB, WNBF, I mean, there's certainly a lot of shows that are still going on in the fall. There are still some that are going on in the summer that are scheduled, and hopefully as things start to loosen up, maybe there will be, I don't know about spectators. I just know that a lot of the federations are making things happen so that at least the competitors can do their shows, and there just might not be an audience. I know that some are talking about live streaming for, friends and family to be able to watch that. And I'll certainly come on and share more about what's going on with the specific federations as well. But yes, there's definitely a lot of shows that are, I mean, right now, as things are starting to open up, it's kind of a question, but I think a lot of the federations are hoping for the fall to have a big turnout. Oh, so you like this time, 10 p.m.? I wasn't sure if anyone was even going to be here. It's so good to have you guys on, And then let's see, what else do we got? Tanning. Oh, that's a good one. That's a whole can of worms. You know what I might do, Lori? Because you asked about the tanning. I might do a whole Q&A just on tanning. I might cover talking about that. And I think that'll be really helpful, because tanning is something that will make or break. I mean, you could look completely washed out if your tan isn't dark enough. And I've seen people show up this past year as a judge. It was so sad, because I wish I could help the competitor, but she had a out of the bottle, just a self tanner out of the bottle, literally one of those that kind of turns you orange, but you don't really tan. It's like this hint of orange. That was her stage tan. But what's amazing is on stage, she looked bright white. So you couldn't see any of her lines, any of her coloring. So, oh my goodness, guys. Yes, tanning is a huge deal. And I would say if there is a show tanner on site, pay the money, you guys. You're spending, oh my God, how much money are you spending on a show? Could be a mortgage payment. If you actually counted it all up, it's probably about like a mortgage payment from all the fees and whatnot. And I can talk about the fees on another Q&A as well. But you're spending so much time and effort. I mean, all the dieting, all the training, all the money, all the, exercising, all the sacrifices, not going out with your friends, maybe. You could be, just from a personal, emotional, and just the effort standpoint, don't blow it on the tan. Don't save the $100 or whatever it's going to cost. Spend the money, give it your best shot and make sure that, the Coda tan is dark enough. Okay. But we'll definitely go over specifics on tanning at some point. So that's kind of what I got. Short and sweet. If you're a bodybuilder, figure, fitness, wellness, bikini, any of those athletes, any of you guys, you want to go to the next level, keep joining me. And if you want to be the first to know about any of the new things that I got going on, we're actually about to launch a really cool bodybuilders only, okay, a bodybuilders only program. You can sign up for the wait list at learntopose.com. On Instagram here, you can go to my profile, click on the link, and it'll take you there. If you're on Facebook, you can go to, just open up a browser and go to learntopose.com and just, put your email in, and it's from me. You're not going to be spammed, and just go ahead and put your info in, and you'll be the first to know about this really, really awesome program that is going to, consolidate on where to even start. Again, there's like so many different federations. There's so many different divisions, you guys. So many different requirements, stage walks. Oh my God. Where do you even start with knowing what to do, or even where you belong? What fits? What could you do? That's what I'm going to be going over. So that's coming with this program. Also, roadmaps, pre-show, post-show, and the post-show. Dun, dun, dun. A lot of people struggle with that post-show. This program's going to be for you. We're going to talk about things that people aren't talking about. Okay? The realness about competing, what it takes to compete, what it's like to come back for a show, even when you're done competing and you want to kind of just be a part of something and you don't really know what, because the people around you don't really know what you did on that day where you turned orange and showed up to work the next day with some funky tan. They have no idea what you're doing. So just kind of being a part of a community that has like-minded goals and knows exactly what you've gone through, and perhaps you may want to give back on that as well. Also, all things posing and stage presentation. That's a big one. So we're gonna have a lot of talk about posing and stage presentation. So again, go to the link in my bio, learntopose.com. If you want to be the first to know, or even just make sure to hear about this program that we got going on. It's gonna be really awesome. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be coming on here, I think weekly. We'll see how things go. And if you have any specific questions that you guys want to know, anything fitness, anything on and off the stage, I'm going to cover it all. I'm here to answer those questions. So go ahead and post up in the comments or send me private messages. Totally fine. And I will see you guys very soon. So I'm going to hopefully end this live video. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to start over here. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you soon.